Time now for the Fox 13 11 o'clock news.
You're watching Fox 13, and the 11 o'clock news starts now.
And over the years, everybody who could have done something about it just put it off to the next.
Catastrophic failure, uncontrolled discharge, how the state is justifying the release of millions of gallons of toxic wastewater into Tampa Bay.
There's no real way to get to herd immunity without vaccinating the pediatric population.
Yeah, you heard it there. The kids need vaccines too, and Pfizer has hit a big milestone toward making that happen.
And a plan to crack down on threats made on social media, but context is key, and it's a key critics say this proposal's missing. Good evening, and thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Cynthia Smoot.
And I'm Chris Cato, and we start with this developing story that has a lot of people concerned here at 11. This old phosphate plant with a troubled history in Manatee County is having trouble again. Wastewater filled with chemicals is leaking from the old Piney Point plant. And now state officials have issued an emergency order okaying the release of more of that polluted water into Tampa Bay to avoid what they call a potential catastrophic failure. Fox 13's Catherine Hawley explains why that action was taken and what environmentalists are worried about.
The company in charge of the Palmetto property says there is nothing it can do to prevent a catastrophic failure after discovering a critical incident last week. The wastewater is leaking from the Piney Point phosphogypsum stack. We're told the leak may stem from a torn liner in a 77-acre containment pond. The Florida Department of Environmental Protection issued an emergency order Monday, allowing the controlled release of the wastewater into Tampa Bay to prevent an uncontrolled discharge. However, local environmental advocates are concerned about the impacts this will have on the marine life.
Knowing that heavy nitrogen is in there, it can create balloons, harmful algae blooms, including red tide, that feed off of it. All the algae competes with the seagrass. It will cover the seagrass. It absorbs the nutrients that the seagrass needs, and it also will take light away from the seagrass.
We're told the leaking containment pond has about 480 million gallons of water. However, the DEP says only the amount necessary to stabilize the situation is allowed to be piped out into the bay. An investigation has been launched to confirm the source of the leak as well as how to stop it. The Manatee Board of County Commissioners is set to get an update and briefing about the situation at its land use meeting at 1:30 on Thursday. Catherine Hawley, Fox 13 News.
Now, this isn't the first time that plant's had this problem. Back in 2011, 170 million gallons of toxic water was dumped into Tampa Bay, also because of a tear in the lining of the reservoir.